Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Margaret from NCBI Children and Young Persons team, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own sensory bottle. For this activity you're going to need a bottle. I've chosen a plastic bottle as opposed to glass for safety reasons. I've removed the label and I've rinsed the bottle. You're going to need a jug of water. You don't need to measure. Then we're going to need some glitter. I have some coarse or some fine glitter. I'm going to use silver for this activity. And we have some food colouring here. I've red, green and blue. I think I'll use red for this one. And we have some vegetable glycerine. The reason I chose this is because I made a few attempts at making this bottle and I've used baby oil, but it's not as effective. The water and oil were separating, so I found the vegetable glycerine is much better. We're going to use some glue for sealing the top of the bottle, and then I just have a small spoon and a skewer just for mixing and storing. I have some shiny sequins here in different colours, so we may use a few of them. As you can see, I've covered the table with a black sack, and this is just, to save all the cleaning up after, where we can just, if there's any spillages of water or glitter or glue or anything, we could just roll it up and dump it in the bin. Okay, now so let's get started. I'll just put my glasses on for this one. So I'm going to take my jug of water and my food colouring, and I'm going to just add a couple of drops to the water. Just add a couple of drops first, because if you add too much at the start, the colour may be too dark and you can't remove any at that point. So I'll take my skewer and give it a little stir. I might just make it a little bit of a deeper red, so I'll just add another 2 drops there, and that should be enough. Give it another quick stir, and then I'm going to move this over. I'm going to take my bottle and my vegetable glycerine, and I'm just going to tip this over and squirt a little bit. We just put a little bit at the end, and the reason I'm adding this is when you add your glitter and water, the glitter will be slower to move down and settle in the bottle. So now just place the cap back on, and I'm going to pour the water into the bottle, my coloured water, and this, as you can see, the red against the clear bottle, it's good for colour contrast, especially for children with vision impairment. Now you can also just use water on its own without adding colour, and maybe add some extra sequins and stuff for a better visual effect. So again, we're going to leave a little bit of room at the top for when we're shaking the bottle, so to mix all our contents together. So I'm going to add some glitter. I have a steady hand for this. 1, 2. It won't sink to the bottom now until we give it a good shake. Maybe another little bit. So that's the coarse glitter there that we had. As you can see, it's all over the place, so it's handy that we put the plastic bag underneath. And now I'm going to add some of the finer. I'll just maybe put some on my hand so you can see how fine this one is. So tip that in there. Maybe another little bit. I got these little pods of glitter from the local Tesco's, the local supermarket, and these sequins. So we might just add a few of these. You don't have to be too particular, unless if you want a colour scheme, you can pick out your red and silver, but I'm going to add a few different colours just for a better visual effect. Now, and we put the lid back on screw it down tightly, but we won't put any glue onto the lid yet until we see what we have in the bottle. So as you can see, the little sparkles, and we could do maybe with another 1 or 2 sequins in there, I think, and to give it a better, to make it more attractive for your child. Yeah. So there you have your sensory bottle. And then if you're happy enough, or if you want a deeper red colour, maybe we'll just try another couple of drops and see if this looks any different. You can always try and experiment whatever way you like. Oh, I think that's a bit better. It's more of a deeper red. And red, it's a very visual colour, especially for children with CVI, cortical vision impairment. Not all children with cortical vision impairment, but the majority of them, the dominant colour that for their preference is red. So that might be a nice sensory bottle for the children with the CVI, or of course just children with vision impairment. So now we just, for the last and final step of your sensory bottle, we're going to put some glue in around, oh, one of them got stuck here, in around the lid of the bottle and secure. And you can let that dry in just to settle. So there you have your sensory bottle. And just, if your child, it'd be a good idea if to let your child get involved in this activity, because they can choose what they want, the colour glitter, the colour water, whatever of their own preference. But I do say always under adult supervision this should be done. So there you have your sensory bottle. By using this sensory bottle, this will encourage your child to use their functional vision, and this will help you determine how much they can see. It'll also encourage your child to scan for the objects in the bottle and to track movements. Children are often mesmerised by the movement as they watch the objects shift, float and settle. If your child is feeling anxious or overwhelmed or sometimes overstimulated, this can help them to control their breathing, relax, calm down and self-regulate their feelings and emotions. To engage your child in this activity, you could use this little small torch light. Try shining the light on the bottle. This will give a different visual effect and get their attention. You could also try this in a dark room. I've made some other sensory bottles that I have here. For this one I've used baby oil and water, as you can see how it separates here. But if you shake it up and down, you can see all the different coloured beads that I used. I didn't colour the water on this because we have enough colour here to give the colour contrast for your child to focus, engage, track and scan items. Here I've added my baby lotion and water, but I've put some glittery pom-poms in here, and this is a lovely effect. You can see the bubbles and the pom-poms floating around the bottle. I've also have this one, and for this one I've used glitter glue and water, and I've added some glitter and some sequins. And again, this, using the glitter glue, it gives a slower settling of the glitter. You can also be as adventurous as you like. I have some pom-poms here. I have some foil, just pieces of tin foil that you could add. I also have some beads and some pipe cleaners, and this I've made some squiggles with the pipe cleaners. You could also add coloured rice. I've some rice here, which I've added some food dye as well too, and I've added some pompons. Again, this is without liquid. You can get your child to look and find the different objects that I've added. And I've also I've just added baby oil and water and food colouring, and this is called The Motion of the Ocean. Now for this one, it might be an idea to use blue colouring, and you could add some, I've taken some of these from my candle holder. To make a theme, we could add some pebbles, and if you had some small seashells, so you could have an ocean theme. You can also add anything you like. I've some beads here. I've even went to my sewing kit and I found some buttons and sequins. So you can be as adventurous and as creative as you like. Use as much imagination as you can. Any object really that will fit inside the rim, the neck of the bottle. So, and let your child join in with this activity. It's really good. You could, and the siblings of course, and everybody could, you could have a competition of who makes their own bottles. There's really loads that you can do with these. So from any age up, and even if you're, the reason I chose this bottle here is it's a smaller, your child would be able to get the grip around this. So again, they could control the movement of the bottle up and down, and it's for the wrist rotation, which is really important for your pencil skills and fine motor movement. So there's loads of learning and development involved in that for your child if they like to take part in the activity. So now we've come to the end of our sensory bottles, and I hope you enjoyed coming along this journey with me. And as you can see, the mess is clear to see. So we're going to just roll up this at the end and dump it in the bin. But please do get in touch. Our helpline is 1850 33 43 53 if you have any questions or queries. You can also get me on my email address, which is margaret.busquet@ncbi.ie. Thanks for watching.